Sometimes your triggers are internal, so it can be something like you yourself didn't have a good night of sleep, you yourself didn't eat a good meal, you're feeling kind of hungry. But I strongly encourage every family caregiver who is experiencing anger, frustration, to take the time to do some tracking and to see what patterns emerge. Then you can be better prepared and you can go into situations knowing, I didn't have a good night of sleep. Today's going to be a little bit harder for me. And so I'm going to try to take some space and be more mindful of that, more intentional in my interactions. Or going into a meal saying, I know if this person refuses the meal, I'm going to get pretty upset. So what's my game plan going to be when they say no to a meal? This is also helpful because everyone has different triggers. So if you're sitting in a caregiver support group or talking to other caregivers and you're hearing how beautifully someone handles mealtime, you might feel guilty or shame if you haven't had that same experience. Well, it's important to remember we all have different triggers. We all have different types of situations or events or internal states that might be harder for us to deal with. And so that's why it's so important to take the time to get to know your own.